What is going on, guys? I want to welcome you to the live stream. Today, we're going to have two content creators coming on. Robert Simmons from Be the Boss to Your Motorcycle and Paul Harper from ProRider Central Texas YouTube. Both of them one of them's a retired motor officer, which is Robert, and Paul is still currently a motor officer in Texas, and they both teach slow speed motorcycle maneuvers, so they know what they're talking about. I'm excited to get this going. Before we start, if you're in the live chat, let me know where you're watching from. Drop it down in the comments. And then first off, I want to thank Eagle Lights for sponsoring this live stream. They were nice enough. At the end of the live stream, we'll be doing a giveaway for a set of Eagle Light turn signals, front and rear. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And then next, I want to mention May 9th through the 12th, I'll be going out to Daytona, or not May, March 9th through the 12th. I'll be going out to Daytona for Daytona Bike Week, going out there with some guys. Going to be a good time. So if you're out there, make sure you hit me up. I want to meet some of you guys, talk to you. So that'll be great. And then I also want to mention this will be my first iron butt ride ever. So I'll make sure to get some footage of that. That should be very interesting. And then on the 12th, I'll be leaving Daytona, heading to Georgia to go do a practice session with Robert. So if you're going to be out there for the practice session, I'll see you there too. And lastly, I also plan on going to Ohio Bike Week like I do every year. So that'll be another chance. If you're going to be out there, let me know. All right, now let's see if we got anything over here in the comments. All right. We got riding and wrenching. Yo, what's up, buddy? Hey, Papa D in the house. We all love Papa D. Thanks for the good luck on the iron butt. Barber CVO in the building. SS Goldwing, hey guys, what's going on, brother? Forward Love, LFG, I can't talk, Cleveland. GoBot, am I ever coming to Medina? You never know, buddy. All right, so without further ado, let's bring in Robert Simmons and Paul Harper.
What's up?
What's going on? What's going on, guys?
What's going on, Joe? What's going on, Paul?
Hey, what's going on, Big Robert? Joe?
All right, brother. Joe, before you even get started, let me correct you on something.
Okay.
You have a retired motor lieutenant and a current motor sergeant. There's no motor officer tonight.
Oh, my fault. I don't know the lingo, guys.
You know what I'm saying? The disrespect, you know?
My fault. Won't happen again. It's noted.
Just kidding. It's all good, man. It's all good.
All right. So let's just go ahead and hop in to the first question. Tell us a little about yourself and your YouTube channels, and you can go ahead first there, Robert.
Oh, okay. What's going on, guys? I'm sure most of you, pretty much everybody I saw in the comment section, I think they're subscribed to my channel. But if they're not, and for those of you that aren't, my name's Robert. As I just stated, I'm a retired NYPD Highway Patrol motorcycle lieutenant. The name of my channel is Be the Boss of Your Motorcycle, and the purpose of that channel is to help you be the boss of your motorcycle. So I don't focus on trying to get you to ride like Paul and I, but I do want you to be confident riding between 1 and 10 miles per hour. So that's the main purpose of the channel. It's all about positivity. It's a positive learning environment. Preloader Nation, we build each other up. We help each other out. No negativity at all. We don't criticize. We don't judge. There's no arrogance. And if we see somebody that needs help, we're not going to laugh at them, make fun, and point fingers. We're going to try to help them.
That's it. That's all you got, Robert? You're short tonight. That's it. All right.
Because I know Joe, he doesn't have that much time, so don't get me started.
Right.
I got all the time in the world. I did a little thing. So
that'll work. Well, for me, I'm Paul. I think most people know me as the motor guy. I guess I got the ProRider Central Texas YouTube channel. I'm a motor sergeant currently since 2014. And so when I got on, I didn't even have a license, man. When they came and approached me to come to the unit, didn't have a license. So got my license 4 months later, went to motor school. And what they told me was, hey, it doesn't matter. You don't have any bad habits, so you'll probably be able to catch on a little bit quicker. I didn't have a lot of bad habits to get rid of. So after about 2.5 years in, man, I was always the first one on the track practicing, the last one off the track practicing. And so about 2.5 years in, they asked me to be the motor sergeant over training. So I'm currently over our training as well. And that's kind of where I started. What I'm doing is I feel lucky to be in the position I'm in. And I know Robert can speak to this and the good training that we get. And so my goal was just to pass that on, man, to fellow riders. And so about 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, I'm certified to teach the MSF, the basic course through the state for your licensing. I started that first. And then 2019 is when I started ProRider Central Texas. So that's kind of, and again, the YouTube channel, I started that thing is same reason, man, just to give back, give some tips and stuff, try to help people. We go with a lot of crazy things out there when it comes to these bikes, different calls. So I just want to give back. So that's kind of what my goal is, just like Robert. So
thanks for your service, Paul.
Yep.
Yes, thank you both. It's awesome what both of you guys are doing. So let's go into question number 2. And Paul, I'll let you start with this one. What got you guys into riding motorcycles, and how long have you been riding?
Okay, so it's kind of an interesting story. So I was a sergeant downtown on 6th Street, which is like an entertainment district down here. About 5 years, wanted something different. I didn't want to go inside. I wanted to kind of stay on the street. So I was going to apply for a different job in the highway unit. We had cars and bikes. So I was going to apply for the car position. Well, the guy changed his mind. So the lieutenant I talked to was, hey, you ever thought about motors? I'm like, nah, man. I always thought those guys were crazy, to be honest with you. And so I was like, nah, because, hey, why don't you talk to him? So anyway, long story short, he came talk to me. I was like, I think I can do this. And so that's kind of what got me started, kind of fluke, to be honest with you. And so I kind of found my passion late in life and kind of jumped off on it. So really, I've only been riding since 2014. That's when I went to motor school. December, what was it, May? Actually, 2015, I went to motor school. So I hadn't been that long, 8 years, I guess.
Wow, I didn't know about that. So you didn't start riding until you actually just joined the motor unit.
Yep. Got my license, got selected, and then 4 months later went to motor school. That pretty much took off from there. So
oh, that's pretty awesome. All right, Robert, what got you into riding motorcycles? How long you been riding?
Okay. You want the short version or the long version?
Let's well, if I get the short version, then we all know it's going to take an hour anyway. So give us the short version.
So I'm a rookie cop, and I'm in the NYPD, and the Pope is coming to New York, and it's cold outside. Cold. I'm standing on a foot post, and I look up the highway. I look up the FDR Drive, and I see a police car sitting there, and there's a cop in that police car. And all I know is that cop is the same rank as me, but I'm standing out here freezing my ass off, and he's warm. So I just wanted to know what unit was he in. I wanted to be in that unit. He was in the highway patrol. So I put in an application for the highway patrol. It had nothing to do with motorcycles. I had never ridden a motorcycle in my life. But highway patrol in the NYPD is a motorcycle unit. So there is no, like New York State Police has a motor officer unit within their department, but this is a motorcycle unit. You have to ride a motorcycle. So everything I've learned, they taught me. Like Paul said, I didn't bring any bad habits because I didn't have any. And I got to tell you, man, it's a lot of pressure. That's why I always tell people, I know you feel a little bit of pressure when you come out to practice, but it's more pressure when you're trying to get in a unit and you know if you can't get this,
sure,
you're going back to patrol.
Yeah, for sure.
So for 3 days, man, I don't care what they were saying to me. I just couldn't get it. And this is why I can always relate to anybody out there that's not getting it, no matter how I'm saying it or how loud it's being said or how many times it's being said. I can relate. And then that 4th day, I call it getting struck by lightning. I got struck by lightning. And this was back in 2001. That's when I got into the highway patrol. So, and after that, after getting into the unit, I just wanted to keep I was annoyed that the practice spot was well away from my precinct. Like I wasn't being able to ride there and do it. So I used to set up stuff behind my precinct. And listen, it's important that people know, just because you're a motor officer, it doesn't mean you're going to ride like a motor officer. You have to practice. It's that simple.
Different levels for sure. Yep, different levels for sure. So you get out of what you put in, pretty much.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and that too. We make it look easy now, but like Robert said, I mean, everybody struggles in the motor school. 80 hours of pure hell. And when I do that stuff, I always give people. Some people get the last day before the test. I've had people get it last day for the test. My guys say, "Hey, Sarge, do we need to cut him?" I said, "No, we're grown. Let him keep his keys. He'll know when he can tap out." I'm not going to tap anybody out, but a lot of them get it. So we're grown. Let me know you can't do it, and we'll take your keys. But I'm not going to take your keys from you. So,
so I just saw riding the wrench and put 3 days with a question mark. So let me address that. Yeah, I know it's like 3 days. Come on. So here's what happened. I was waiting to do an exercise, and there's an exercise we do called the clover leaf. And one of the other guys was in it. And when he went down on the motorcycle, he kept his feet on the footboards, and I just saw the motorcycle resting on the engine guard and the saddlebag guard. And just me seeing that, it allowed me to relax and not worry too much, because I kept thinking the bike was going to fall on me. I was going to break something. I almost broke my ankle in wheel school because I put my foot down and it hit that saddlebag. So trust me, when I'm telling people don't put your foot down, it's not just because I see it. I felt it. All right, that's it, man.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So go ahead, Paul.
Go ahead. Nope.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah. So both of you guys basically learned when you went to school. So no bad habits to break, which I kind of wish that's the way I was taught, because I had a lot of bad habits that I had to break, and could have saved me a lot of time and stress. And
yeah, people come to my class or something in the motor school. I've been around for 20 years. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be the one that normally has the most problems, right?
And they said the same thing with us. They give you a sheet of paper, and the first question is, how long have you been riding a motorcycle? And I'll never forget, the guys that have been riding for 18, 19 years, they felt so good about writing that down. And that's why I always ask people, how long you been riding, but also how long you been practicing slow speed riding. The second question is more important to me than the first.
Yeah, that guy that's been riding for 20 years kind of sounds like a guy that I know. His name's Chuck, and he's been around a couple times. So
yeah, you can't teach him nothing.
No, he's coming around a little bit. He's changing his ways. Ever since he attended your practice session, he's been a little more humble. So
yeah, he got humbled by Q.
yeah, he did.
That's what I hear.
All right. Oh, we actually got a comment from Q. He
Did you put a screenshot on it? If you didn't, don't read it.
Like running over your buddy. So, I got this new high-tech button pusher, and look what happens when I hit this button. Oh,
Now that's one of those situations where, what was Mike supposed to do? He shit himself.
Every time. All right. I promise that's the last time I play that. I told him I was going to play it. All right. So let's move on to the next question we got here. So since both of you guys teach slow speed maneuvers, what's the best tip you would give for a new rider starting out? And we can start with you, Robert.
The best tip to give to someone starting out. Well, first of all, watch my videos, right? Or watch Paul's videos or anybody's videos. I say all the time, let me rephrase that. Not anybody's videos, but listen, wherever you get content that's going to help you and give you confidence to go out and practice, then that's what I want you to do. Educate yourself first. I know a lot of people just want to get on and go, because it's fun, but this is so serious. People take so much for granted when it comes to riding a motorcycle. It's so serious. And is motorcycle riding dangerous? Yes. That's why people say all the time that, they got married, they had kids, and their wife was like, no, I don't want you riding the motorcycle because they're dangerous. And that's a true statement. but it's more dangerous when you really don't know what you're doing on the motorcycle. You just, hoping that everything works out. So I would say the first thing to do is educate yourself and then practice. Go straight to the parking lot. They tell you at the MSF course, congratulations,
Sure.
you're now qualified to go to a parking lot. All right. Practice slow speed stuff. Don't put the cart before the horse. All of that other stuff will come, but just practice and raise your confidence. Because with the confidence going up, everything else is going to follow.
Yeah, well said. Well said. Yeah, no, well said. I'll piggyback off that. You got to put the work in. This stuff has to be automatic. When stress comes, our brain draws back to whatever you put in. And if you don't put anything in or put minimum in, then your chances, to me, kind of go down to overcoming whatever the situation that you're in. So yeah, and I tell my students in my basic course, when you pass this course, this is not the end. This should be the beginning of your training. So yeah, so I agree. Practice, 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 practice.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
I think I heard that somewhere before. I don't know.
And ride safe.
Ride safe. That's it. Hey, and don't forget about the mercy braking, man. I think I have a lot of people come through my class, a lot of new riders, older riders, and not one person knew how to stop right yet. So you got to put the work in with the mercy braking and the swerving. I tell people you only get one chance to get it right every time on the mercy braking. You may only need it one time in your whole riding career, but you got to get it right that one time. So we got a lot of crashes, man. I think a lot of that has to do with that. So don't forget about that. It's not as sexy as all those tight turns, but it's just as important though.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah.
Paul, when's the last time you've been to the range?
I went the other day out there. We had practice last Thursday, Friday, actually.
Does your police department have you do the same thing, the same order when you go to the range? If you have a malfunction?
We mean like
if your gun jams, do they train you to do the same thing the same way every time? Why do they do that? What's the purpose of that?
Muscle memory. You got to draw back to that. Yep.
That's why we practice and practice. You have to build muscle memory because when happens, or in the law enforcement case, when the crap hits the fan, you don't have time to think about it. It should just be automatic. So that's what practicing is about.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and no matter how much time you have, as Robert always says, if you have time to ride, you got time to practice.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be long. I personally enjoy going out to the parking lot and practicing for a couple hours. It's an absolute blast. And then what Paul was saying with the emergency braking, that can't be stressed enough because I never practiced emergency braking. I didn't know how to emergency brake until I started thinking with my head and be like, I got to brush up on my skills with everything. So good. Yeah,
people think it's easy, but if you think about it, there's a lot of techniques that go into the braking, right? And that fast, right? That fast. You got to roll off the throttle, squeezing the clutch, downshift, all this stuff happening like that.
Yep.
So it's got to be automatic. So
Barber CVO 19 has a question. Any other questions we'll hold till the end, but this is a good one. If someone's been riding for say 20 years or more and only rode say 10,000 miles, and a person who rode for like 4 years has more than 40,000 miles, who would be the more experienced rider?
Well, what do you mean by experience? Are you talking about experience in riding in miles or experience if the crap hits the fan? Because like I always say, if both those riders never practice slow speed riding, neither one of them know what they're doing when something's getting ready to happen. Most likely, they're not going to make the right decision. It's the only way you're going to make the right decision. Paul said, and downshift. How many people are going to have the presence of mind to downshift in an emergency stopping? No, they squeeze and hope for the best.
Yep, I totally agree.
Good question, Camilo.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I always say too, miles doesn't equal experience. That's why when I talk about people been riding for a while, I don't say experience, I say seasoning maybe, but because experience comes with the practice. It's easy to go in a straight line, right?
Absolutely.
It's easy to do that. And so
we got another motor officer in the comment section, and he shares the same thing that Paul and I do. He started riding a motorcycle. That's Mario, 6 74, and that's where he got his training from. And I mean, he's phenomenal. You put all three of us in a practice session, forget about it, man. That's going to be beautiful to watch. All three of us in the 18-foot circle.
Hey, you might. So I see John Wills on comment there. See John Wills
John.
says great
Oh,
content.
yep. I put him up.
Yeah, so that's my corporal right there. He's
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's my
Awesome.
corporal right there. So
Nice.
I give you a shout out to him because he taught me. He taught
Okay.
me. So, and I got a story on it, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it, man.
And I tell this story all the time. So when I started, he was out there doing figure eights and 3/6. That's what we start with. And it's before motor school. He's getting me prepared. And he had me doing some crazy stuff. But I first starting out, he's like, "Hey, Sarge, you got to lean the bike." I said, "Man, I am leaning the bike." Okay. So I'm going through. Hey, Sarge, you got to lean the bike, Sarge. I am leaning the bike, man. Okay. So he videotaped me. And I was like this. That's all I was doing. I thought I was scraping pegs. So he goes, "Nah." So he videotaped me. I was like, "Okay, I hear what you're saying." So I tell that story all the time because I thought I knew what I was doing, but I gotta give a shout out to him. So he's actually going to retire here in a month or two. So he's almost at retirement. So anyway, I don't want to take over. I had to give him that shout out to him.
No, it's all
sorry.
good,
Sorry
man.
about that, Joe. Sorry.
What's interesting?
No, you're good.
I'm sorry. What's interesting about that story also is, what did he tell Paul? Lean the bike. And what did Paul say back? I am leaning. And what did that guy do? He recorded him. This is why it's so advantageous for people that come to my practice sessions, because the whole thing is recorded. It's on YouTube. You can always go back and watch it. And people that come out and do private lessons, they have the option too of having it recorded just for them. It's such a big aid in practicing for a number of reasons, and that's one of them. Your brain, you really are gonna feel like I remember riding that ugly road glide. He can't see the cones because of that fairing. So in his mind, he was this close to the cone, when in reality, he was this far away from it. Recording it, he sees it. All right, go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
Good.
It's all good, fellas. We got time to burn. So
All right. I know we're getting off track here. Sorry.
Get those lights up.
it's all good. All right. So question number 4. What is the most, so obviously both of you guys teach this, so you're doing classes. So what is the most common mistake you see while you're training the riders in your courses?
Go ahead, Robert. Let's take this one first, big dog. I'll
The
pay you
most
back.
common mistake is not providing sufficient power to the rear wheel. That's the most common mistake. And it's the most detrimental mistake because it's the only thing that's going to make that motorcycle fall over. No power. Either they don't have the throttle preloaded enough, or they have the clutch pulled either all the way in, or they don't have it in the friction zone enough. That's why I always say sufficient power. You don't want too much power. You don't want too little power. Enough. That's the most common mistake I see.
Yep. No, I agree with that. That's a big one, right? That's what keeps everything going, keep the bike upright. Another thing I added to that too is head and eyes, man. I see a lot of problem. Everybody has a problem with head and eyes, right? It's easier said than done. It's not natural to do it all. We don't do anything else, right? In a car, we don't ride like this in a car, right? Only on the bike we do it. And so you can have the friction zone down, but if your head and eyes aren't good, you're still gonna have problems when it comes to doing some of this stuff. So
that's right.
Yep.
And I started to say putting your foot down. That's not one of the biggest common things. And the first thing I said takes care of that. So
right.
So now let me ask you, how do you guys correct those issues? Do you just beat them up? Or I mean, what do you do?
Well, you know me, I'm just gonna keep yelling preload. And if preload, and if the bike drops or if it almost falls, I always ask them, why did that happen? Yeah. Listen, again, like Paul said, when you went out there and you're trying to concentrate and stuff, your mind is. That's why people go back and they watch this stuff, and everything's different at that point. They're relaxed. I asked them, do they know what happened? And I love it when they tell me, yeah, I didn't have enough power to the rear wheel. So then sometimes I have to go a step further and say, why wasn't there enough power? And it's one of two things. Either they're not, because when people start getting nervous, they feel the bike falling. A lot of times they go like this. So they pull in the clutch. Now you took all the power away and it's going to fall. It doesn't matter how much you're preloaded if the clutch is all the way in. Repetition equals retention. So I try to let everybody know this is not a magic show. We're not on hollow ground out there. Ain't no miracles going to happen out there. Well, the odds are it isn't. My point is, don't look for it. Don't be patient. If you put, like Paul said, you get out what you put in. It's that simple.
Easy. And so, yeah, that's exactly right. And what I normally do is kind of explain. For me, I think it's all that putting the clutch in and stuff. It's a natural defensive mechanism, actually, if you think about it. And I always tell people, if I take 100 people, line them up, run up behind you and push you from behind, and we're all falling forward, what happens? We all put our hands out to catch our fall, right? That's a natural defensive mechanism. I have a grandson that's 1 year old. I babysitted him over the holidays, and he was 1 year old. He was falling every time he put his hands out. Nobody had to teach you that. So what happens, I think, is that whenever you feel like you're falling on these bikes, you do two things, right? One is like Robert said, you put the clutch in. The reason why you put the clutch in is because your hand is covering the clutch, so you inadvertently squeeze it in, and you lose power to the rear wheel, and then you put your foot down, right? So all you're doing is a natural defensive mechanism. Your body thinks you're falling, you're balling up to protect yourself, squeezing the clutch in. Me put my foot out is just like what? Me put my hands out, but I can't put my hands out because my hands are on the handlebars. So the next best thing is your foot, and that's a natural thing that you do. So I always tell people you have to reprogram your brain, right? Instead of doing this, you need to do the opposite. Let more clutch out, like Robert's telling you, more power goes to rear wheel, the bike stands up. But it takes time. It's a process, right, Robert? In motor school, man, they drop their bikes 80, 90 times in motor school because there's one principle. They can't get out of doing this. And then once they figure it out.
So in other words, we have to get people to what? Trust and believe. Trust and believe that as long as you have sufficient power going to the rear wheel, it's going to be okay. Exercise number 3, baby.
Yep.
Yeah.
And motor school
go ahead.
No, go ahead, Joe.
I was just going to say, from my experience, it is extremely hard to break those habits. I mean,
it is.
As you said, it's natural to put your foot down instead of letting out that clutch a little bit. And once you get it, it clicks off like a light bulb.
It changes your whole. Yep. And then once you get that, you can start working on head. It's hard to work on head nods and all that if you're still worried about dropping your bike.
That's right.
Right.
Excellent.
Once you figure that out, then it opens up your mind to focus on the fine details of things, and that's when you actually start improving. So, but it's a process, man.
Let me write that down.
Yeah.
Listen. I'm joking saying let me write that down, but from one of Paul's videos, that's what helped me master the keyhole. You know, him saying exactly where to go and Paul, he walks it in his videos. You know, that's always hilarious. Yeah. I always think about the Benny Hill music in the background. But I don't want you to think that we went to motor school and now we're done learning. No, you're always learning, man. When you think you know everything, that's when you know it's going to be a problem.
Yep. So Eddie McLean, he says, sorry for covering you up there, Paul, but Robert and Paul, I notice you both tend to keep your offside elbows straight when doing a U-turn. Does this help you keep the handlebar turned throughout the U-turn and prevent going wide?
Well, I'm glad. That's a good observation, Eddie. I have no clue what the hell you're talking about. I think that the position of my elbow is going to be determined by my handlebars. You know, so when I had those handlebars that were too low, it's going to look a little different than when they're higher. So to me, I just turn it. I don't know how it ends up, but that's Eddie, boy. Eddie's on it, man. He's on it.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, let's see if we got anything else in the comments here. Oh, look who's in here, Miss Jenny. Welcome.
Hey, Miss Jenny, that's my ambassador.
He's at an unplanned family reunion right now. Her dad passed away the other day. Be safe, everyone. Hugs to all. Sorry to hear that, Miss Jenny.
Condolences, Miss Jenny. She's just awesome, man. Just awesome. I'm gonna do a video on Miss Jenny in the coming future, near future.
Yeah. All right.
This one got your pipes, right? You want to talk about last night, that Miss Jenny?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, just awesome. The Preloaded Nation is full of phenomenal, above and beyond personality people. It is what it is. That includes you two gentlemen.
Hey.
Definitely a great group to be a part of.
Yes, sir.
All right, so now we will move into question 5. Which slow speed maneuver, in your opinion, is the most important to learn or master?
So I think the U-turn, if you can do a decent U-turn, you can pretty much do anything else at that point. Like I said, in motor school, we start with figure eights, which is basically U-turns, and 360s. We do that for half a day before we even get them in any patterns. Because that's the foundation. That's the foundation of everything. If you make a tight turn, you can do anything.
Wow. So I'm going to agree about the U-turn. That was my answer as well to that question. But I mean, wow, I'm thinking about my motor school and Paul said their motor school, bam, right to the figure eight
Yeah.
first. So the first thing we did, you're making me think about this now. Here we go, Joe. The first thing we did, they would have us pull up and we would all park, right? And they had, those police line don't cross wooden things. They're like
Hmm.
iron. They're like iron horses, right? They would just take the flat part and put it on the ground, one on the back, one on the front. So we would put our back wheels against one of them, and they purposely didn't give you a lot of room so that when we went to pull out, we would do an exercise
Hmm.
number 4. You
Yeah,
had to make
90-degree
a
pull
left
out.
turn. So because we would park close to each other, if we were going left, everybody would turn their handlebars to the left to give you room to pull out, and you had to do that straight up. That's the first thing we did, and then it was a single
It's pretty
circuit.
tough. It's pretty tough right there, starting with that, like that.
Yeah. Well, but you
That's
know
how they
what?
do
There's
it.
no lean there's no lean involved. Maybe that's
You're
why I
right.
start with no lean, because so many people are worrying about leaning the motorcycle. In my opinion,
Mhm.
the first things that we do out there, the stops and the short stops and the starts, all of that stuff where you have to be going slow and straight up. It's very important stuff, but I'm not going to get into it. Go ahead, Joe.
Hey, you guys can expand as much as you want on these questions.
All right.
Papa D Ride says, trust and believe for me as well.
Yes.
Now that's a tricky one to get used to because nobody likes that feeling of when you're falling over. But as soon as you get that down and you're not putting your foot down, it clicks like a light bulb, and that plays into so many other exercises
Why do you think people don't like the feeling of falling?
because they're afraid to get hurt,
No.
and they don't want to damage their bike as well.
The main reason why people don't like the feeling of falling is because when you feel falling, you feel out of control. You have no control when you're falling. And that's people, we don't like to feel out of control with anything. All of the other stuff you said, getting injured, rarely is that the case. People are worrying about the bike more than getting injured. But because we're sitting still, nothing's really going to happen to you. So, but yeah, that's the main thing. It's not being in control. It's one of the 3 C's: consistency, confidence, and control.
Sure. Okay, so now we will move on to question number 6. This one ought to be interesting.
Uh-oh.
Now, what do you think is the most beneficial upgrade on a motorcycle pertaining to slow speed maneuvers?
You wanna go, Robert?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, think about this one.
So that question, it really can't be answered. If you're asking just for me, I'm going to say the handlebars because that was my experience. But sometimes the stock handlebars might be okay for somebody, and the most important thing for them might be a seat, might be that high brake pedal on the Harley Davidson, too close on the limited. At least if you're tall, So it depends. When it comes to slow speed maneuvers, all of these things you can get used to anything. First of all, but if you want to make things easy on yourself, you want to make sure that your handlebars are high enough so that when you turn, you can turn freely. Your elbows and stuff are not being, your legs, I'm sorry, are not being hit by the front brake lever or the clutch lever. You want to make sure that the seat is close enough for you. You always hear balls on the tank. That definitely helps when you're trying to do tight stuff.
Especially in the Harleys, yes.
Yes,
Or anything,
absolutely.
but yeah, especially in the Harleys, though, yes.
And even your controls. I've seen people adjust something and not, they pull the handlebars back, but then don't adjust this. All of these things matter. Everything matters.
Yeah, I agree. I think the biggest hindrance that I've seen through my classes and stuff is handlebars. A lot of people get these handlebars and they just kind of get them because they're cool, whatever. And when they start trying to actually do functioning with them, they're not very well. So I had one guy come with handlebars that kind of come back like this, and he goes, "Man, I'm gonna have to change these bars when I get back." He realized how it's not practical, depending on what you're doing, right? How your bars. So for sure, yeah, make sure your bars fit you.
And he's in the chat now. Papa D. Papa D came to a practice session, and like immediately he was like, "I got to get new bars." So that's definitely something that preloaders learn quickly. People that don't really know how to ride their motorcycles at slow speeds, there's a lot of stuff they don't have to consider when they're buying a motorcycle or outfitting their motorcycle with stuff. One of them is ridiculous handlebars or wheels that are 60 inches in
Yeah,
diameter, you know.
Yeah.
Because
Other
if
big
you
rake
just
in the
ride
front. Yeah.
straight and make slight turns, it doesn't matter how wide your handlebars are. But as soon as you have to actually make turns and you go, oh man, I can't
Yeah.
reach my clutch,
Yeah.
changes things.
Saw a cat the other day with handlebars like this, those. I'm like, man, you're gone, man. What you gonna do with that? You know what I'm saying?
What was he riding? What kind of motorcycle?
Some I'm bad with that. Some chopper, sportster, or something.
Oh,
They had
okay.
those handlebars. The handlebars they were just real close in like that.
Mhm.
Hope nothing happens, man. Hope you don't have to swerve or do anything because I don't know how that's gonna work out.
He could do a high speed serpentine.
Yeah, there you go. In my opinion, just so you can feel comfortable while you're practicing with slow speed stuff, I was gonna say like the motorcycle drop guards, so that way
Yeah, for
you
sure.
can get over the fear of
Yeah.
just damaging your bike, because that was a big thing for me. I was afraid to. I mean, you spend over $20,000 on a motorcycle, you don't want it to fall over.
Yeah.
So I say
Yeah.
crash
I
bars
agree
and
with
the drop guards.
That's the first thing.
Absolutely.
That's the first thing I put on my bikes, man. And I'm a fairly decent rider, but it doesn't take much to drop these things. And actually, when you put those on, I found that students that come without them have a harder time getting it because they're scared about the fear of dropping the bikes.
Right. Yep.
Compared to ones that have them. I mean, I think they do affect your training and how fast you catch on and improve when you take out the element of dropping your bike. I know you pay a lot of money for these bikes, some custom paint jobs, but yeah, you got to protect them, and that actually will help you in the long run.
But it should be known, motorcycle drop guards are great. But it should be known if your motorcycle already has engine guards and saddlebag guards, it's already protected.
Yep.
So my CVO, I just put motorcycle drop guards on that. So every drop you've seen in my videos, and I put them all in there, including that one in Jersey when I slipped in oil, and a bunch of people was like, there go those saddlebags. My saddlebags never touch the ground. The saddlebag guards do their jobs. Motorcycle drop guards are just going to protect your guards.
Right.
So it's a guard on top of a guard. That's what it is.
Right. Gotta have the yep. Hey, I still apologize for dropping Angel too. Tell him I'm sorry about that, man.
Oh, please,
when I was
man.
done.
He's already on his
Bills in the mail.
I'm a fairly decent rider. He's a modest guy, you know. He's fairly decent.
Hey, I'm learning.
Hey, well, GoBot says training wheels. That'd probably be a good upgrade.
I've seen it. I've seen it online coming down automatically.
Yeah,
I've
there you
seen
go.
it.
Use it in the snow. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people agree with you guys. Handlebars, 6-door 74, forward love handlebars, Papa D handlebars and seat. You mentioned the seat, Robert. So, yeah, I think it's a pretty good all-around consensus.
Oh yeah.
If Stacy says installing an adjustable clutch lever or adjusting the clutch cable so the engagement point is close to the grip was a game changer for me.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. If you have a hydraulic clutch, you can't really adjust it. There's stuff that you can do for that. They have products that you can take care of that. But I've gotten on some people's, like I got on this guy's bike on a private lesson, and I was like, oh my God, like my hand was fully extended and I was still in the friction zone on his motorcycle. So I understood now why he kept, like his motorcycle kept jerking, because his friction zone was like this small when it should be like wider.
Yeah, one product that I can recommend that I have on my bike is the soft brake hand lever. This guy bends them himself. He takes stock levers, he bends them in an inch, and they're perfect. I got a video on that, and they also make that extended reach brake pedal, which is
I saw
amazing.
that. Yep.
That I've been saying I'm going to get for the longest for Violet, which doesn't matter now since she's still in the shop.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Terrible.
DC Cycler says, I wonder if riders are more fearful of dropping and damaging their bike or being able to pick it up. That's a valid point.
Yeah. So I've heard some people say, I don't want to practice alone because if I drop the bike, I can't pick it up. And, you know, I have had a lot of people tell me they can't pick up the bike, and then they watch the video I did on another way to pick it up, and they were like, oh my God, you know. And then there's people that they're not going to be able to pick that bike up no matter how you show them how to do it. So, you know, it is what it is. I still want them to practice. Even if they practice doing the stuff where you're just straight up and no lean, you know, we got to get something under your belt. Emergency braking is big, though, like Paul said, huge.
Yeah, that should be one of the number one things that you're practicing, man. Okay, so now we will go into question number 8. So since you're both are, I don't want to say this wrong because I have a terrible motor, not motor, police.
No, you had it right.
You guys tell me.
He's a motor sergeant and a retired motor lieutenant.
Okay, all right. What you said. What was the most memorable call or incident you've responded to as a motor officer?
He did it again?
Oh, son of a gun.
No, I'm just kidding. You're good. You're good.
All right, so you can go first, Paul.
Yeah. So for me, man, if I get, it probably with lieutenant too, I'd imagine, but if I get called to a crash, normally it's pretty bad. It's not a good day for people. So I'm not gonna talk about that. I don't want to bring the vibe, bust the vibe up on your show. But one thing that I do like, and I didn't know we did until I actually came to the unit, is we do static displays where we go to elementary schools and stuff, and they'll have different units bring out, SWAT to bring out their trucks, bomb squad, fire department, all that kind of stuff. So we take our bikes out and sit them out. I am kind of biased. I'm a motor officer, so all the kids run past all that other stuff and come to the bikes. That's a big thing for these kids. So have them sit on the bikes, play with the sirens and the lights, and the smile on the face that it gives them is priceless, man. So that's really what I that's more of the joy that I get from this. So than anything else, I think just the kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yep.
All right, hold on. I'm throwing a flag on the play.
Oh,
he didn't answer the question. The question was a call that you received, and he's talking about what gives him joy. He's like a politician, man.
All my calls are tragic, man. I don't want to talk about that stuff. All right,
let's see what you got, man. You don't have one that was like funny or like you'll never forget it.
Not the motors, man. A motor's either right, and of course I'm a supervisor, so I'm not writing too many tickets. I ain't gonna start lying to you. So I'm out there writing a lot of tickets and stuff, but no, not really, man. Just
okay.
Yeah. All right.
All right, Robert. What do you got?
All right. So, unlike Paul, even as a lieutenant, I was out there writing people, but I had a threshold. You have to be going at least 90 miles an hour for me to get out of my car and give you a summons. But I also knew when I went to traffic court and I testified, you got to be on point, everything you're doing, especially when you're wearing a white shirt. And I'm not going to ask my guys to do something and I don't have to do it, but I want them to see me doing it. Anyway, so the most the most memorable call, usually tragedy is the thing that sticks out the most. And I'm going to share this because I need people to hear stuff like this. It's the reason why I'm so animate about stuff I say when it comes to practicing on your motorcycle. I responded to a job out in Queens, guy riding a sport bike, riding extremely fast, decapitated, right? And I mean, you see these kind of accidents, and after a while, I guess you get a little desensitized because, seeing body parts, that's why the whole seatbelt thing, that's something I was huge on. Not before I got into the highway patrol, I wasn't. I remember they asked us, what's the most gorish thing you've ever seen? And I remember I said it was somebody getting shot in the face with a shotgun. Until I got to the highway patrol and I see what happens to people in cars that don't wear their seatbelts, and you get to the scene and there's the car, nobody's in it, and especially if it was a rollover. Oh my God. So I'm big on seatbelts. That's why I didn't give a lot of warnings with that. And the motorcycle, it's important that we have to understand and realize that I already said we take a lot for granted. I'm a big believer in YOLO, and by that meaning you only live once. So do what you want to do. If you can do it, just do it. We don't know how long we're going to be here. So why play with that and do stuff that's going to maybe make that time even shorter? People depend on us. People love us. So even if we're not going to do it for ourselves, we got to do it for our loved ones. So that's what sticks out to me the most, responding to calls where I see not just the person doing something dumb, but other people suffered because of the decision they made.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. Paul, does that ring any bells for you?
Oh yeah. I do it all the time.
He's trying to get something out of you, Paul.
Oh man. Yeah, Papa D rides says hard to talk about those tragic calls, and he's an EMT. I
Yeah.
think he's
Yep.
retired.
Yep.
Now, the one that stands out the most, oh my gosh. And this was a Sunday morning, Saturday morning, one of the two. And I was working the desk. I sent my sergeant out to do patrol. And when I got this call, I had to come off the desk for this one. There was a bus, one of those buses that goes out to Atlantic City for gambling. And this was on the NET, I-95. The bus, I don't know how it happened. I don't know if this driver dozed at the wheel. I'm not sure. But the bus wound up on its side and sliding, and it slid into a light pole. And the light pole split the bus in half. So it was about 15, 16 people on that bus.
Oh,
Oh my God, man. I've never been to a scene that graphic. And I was just like Paul said, if he gets called out, if the highway patrol gets called out to an
that's not
accident,
good.
it's a fatality or somebody that's likely. So it's just,
Yeah.
all right, go ahead, man.
Yeah. So tough one for me, man. And I will say this because I had one of my September
Here we go.
23rd. So, but no, it's the most one I remember is September 23rd of last year. One of my guys got on the way home, got the car turned left in front of him. Kind of weird little intersection. 6 o'clock in the morning, so it's dark, and car turned in front of him. And he had a crash and was killed. And so I had to go to that scene. And so that was tough. That's one of the toughest things I've ever done right there. Is do that. We had to escort him. We stayed there with him the whole time, laying out there, and took him, escorted him to the enemy officer, all that kind of stuff. So so that's tough when it's that's the first time I've had like one of my. I've done other officers before.
Yeah.
But not like one of my guys. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so that
He was on a motorcycle?
Yeah, on his bike going home. So, and I feel responsible for all my guys because that's one of the toughest. I'm still not quite right back from that one, but
Yeah.
that's probably the toughest one I've been to. That's the toughest one I've been to. So hopefully it's the last one like that I'll go to.
Mm-hmm.
right. Now, is this the story that John Willis put up right here? Paul's not telling how we saved our fellow officers from entering an intersection as a car ran a red light.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's
Oh.
right. So we're leaving from training at an intersection, going to turn left. Real big, I think it's 3-lane, 2-lane, pretty high speed roadway. We're crossing. So me and the corporal sitting there, 2 guys next to us. Our light turns green, and always take a couple seconds to look both ways before you pull out. Well, these motor officers started going, and then John yelled out, "Hey!" Oh, and then they stopped, and the car.
Wow.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, that's another good point. Left,
So, yeah.
right, left, and then even still wait a half a second.
Yes.
'cause you never know what's blowing through there.
Stuff happens fast.
So we told him, we said, "Hey, we saved your life. You owe me your life. You owe me your life."
Yeah.
After that, so.
So we got a question from GoBot. Do you guys have policies prohibiting high-speed pursuits for motorcycles?
NYPD, yes.
Yes. We can, if it's within the policy and all that, we can. Once cars get there, we have to discontinue once cars get.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
You kind of same way, Robert?
Same thing. Your motorcycles are not allowed. If you're on a motorcycle, so let me make this clear. NYPD Highway Patrol is a motorcycle unit, but it's not like Chips. It's not like Mario. Mario takes a motorcycle out every day on patrol from his house and home and on it all day. We're a motorcycle unit, but primarily we're in cars. And it's for practicality reasons. If New York is a congested area, congested place. And with that being said, if a car's broken down, and it's happened before, just one lane being out can screw up all the way up to Connecticut, right? So the main focus is to keep the traffic moving. If I respond to a scene on a motorcycle, I'm just sitting there waiting for the tow like everybody else. But if I'm in a car, at least I can push the car out of the way. And not only that, every spring, my guys would come up to me, "Luke, can I take a wheel today?" And they're saying that because the weather's good. Yeah, go ahead. I already know they're coming back in like 2 hours to get a car. Because being in the car, having your computer and all this stuff, and you're safer.
More
It's that
practical.
simple.
Yeah. So we ride. So for here we have assigned bikes. So we take them home. we didn't have any cars assigned to us. I can't get my guys in a car, to be honest with you. Even if it's storming, they'll hide somewhere on the bridge till they get a call, and they go back out. So we're kind of opposite. We're on them pretty much all the time, but yeah.
Gotcha. Now, what kind of motorcycles did you ride, Robert, and what kind of motorcycle do you ride in the unit?
We 10-5? I mean, repeat that question.
So when you were in the unit, what kind of motorcycle did you guys ride?
Road Kings.
Road Kings?
Yeah.
Yes, we have BMWs now, the BMW RT 1250s. When I first started with motor school, I rode a Kawasaki Concourse for 2.5 years. And those kind of got phased out, so now we're all on BMWs.
Okay. Now, do you enjoy that BMW more than that Harley that you just got?
You know, for work purposes, BMW is a really good tool. It's really a good tool. It's fast, real nimble. It turns high center grabs, so it leans over good, so you get real tight turns. So yeah, as far as that, I think it's a good tool. We had Harleys back in the day, and Harleys kind of were behind on a little bit of safety features. And I think this is why people started going to these other makes and models and stuff, just because of that. But not that my Road King. Now Robert, every time I see that thing, I think about Robert, because I came down there and rode Angel. I told him, I texted you that morning, remember, when I was leaving? And I said, man, you guess what I'm doing, Robert? I'm out here, I'm on the internet looking at Harleys.
There you go.
So, but
he's a bad influence.
Yeah,
Nothing turns like it. Nothing turns like it.
No. But for work, BMW is a good tool for work, though. I have to admit, yep. It's got the wet clutch, it's got the liquid cooled, all that stuff. Especially here in Texas, it gets pretty hot in the summer.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, for
you know
sure. Okay. Riding and Wrenching has a question. When will we see Robert, Paul, and Mario in a video together? That might be a
hold up. We need specificity. What kind of video?
All right, guys, this is a family live stream now.
You just got taken off the air, Joe.
That'll be that's what I said earlier. That'll be a great video. It's going to be all three of us in the 18-foot circle, the top of that snowman.
Yeah.
If Mario can get his clutch fixed.
Yeah.
I'll give him Angel. He turns better with Angel anyway.
Yeah, he'll come around and get a Harley one day.
Yeah. So what kind? I think I saw that video. What kind of bike was he on?
Was it Kawasaki?
Mario.
Is he on the Kawasaki?
Maybe I didn't see that one.
Kawasaki, Yamaha, same thing.
Cruiser, right? Yeah. He was on it with his wife, right?
I'm thinking about. He wears the gear. It's a Yamaha, I think.
Yeah, it is. Okay. It is a Yamaha.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
He said, "I don't have the credentials these two legends do." God, get out of here.
He's FOS.
But he is. He knows what he's doing. SS Goldwing says, "Appreciate you guys, your guys' content so much and the knowledge that you share."
Thank you, sir.
Now listen? You know who SS Goldwing is?
That was I believe that's the guy with that old red Goldwing.
Yes, out in
the
Tennessee.
Hills. Yeah.
Man, he'd been riding for it was like months. Like he just started riding, and he was rocking it on that Goldwing. And he said, "This is the SS Goldwing, man. That was a perfect name for that thing. That thing was huge, man. All these,
yeah.
Funny, man. Good guy too. Hopefully, he'll be out there when I come to Tennessee. What is it? June? Yeah, June 11th.
Okay, so now there's still a couple questions in there, but we'll move on to the bonus question.
All
right, so underrated or overrated ABS brakes on a motorcycle? And Robert, I'll let you start.
Underrated.
And
I'm gonna tell you something. I feel like I've been riding with anti-lock brakes for so long. When I was out in Jersey doing a practice session, one of the preloaders let me ride his Honda VTX. So I went out doing turns on the bike and stuff. And then I decided, hey, let me practice some emergency braking on this bike. And I speed up. And when I went to squeeze the front brakes to stop, the front wheel locked up. That's nothing too. You got to kind of get familiar with somebody's bike before you just get on and start doing stuff. And let me tell you something, man. That could have been a bad thing. All I did was let it out, and the bike picked back up. I kept power to the rear wheel, But see, this is what I'm talking about. That's an uh-oh moment, and I can't say instinctively, but my muscle memory told me keep power to the rear wheel. It's not going to fall, and let go of the front brake.
Right. Yes.
So,
yes.
Interlock brakes are I
agree.
love them. Now you hear people say
Yeah,
it shouldn't be a handicap, blah blah blah. Listen, but so you should know not to just grab at the brakes. That's the main thing.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you need to learn how to brake properly. But I think ABS and anti-lock brakes is just a safety feature because we all make mistakes, right? You never know. We all make mistakes. It just helps you correct from your mistake. But you should be learning how to do it properly to begin with, and just use it as a safety net. And I tell all the people in my basic course, if you get ABS, if you can't afford a bike with ABS, wait till you can, because it could be a lifesaver.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially with new riders starting out while you're learning how to brake and all that, it definitely can be a lifesaver. So I'm a big believer in that. But don't rely on them. Learn how to brake properly and know what to do if it fails, because like Robert said, they could fail. It could fail. So you gotta know what to do also. But
that's right. Can't hear you, Joe.
Yeah, I thought it was me.
My bad. I muted my mic.
There we go.
I
thought it was
only
me.
happened once. No. So I was going to play devil's advocate and say that they're overrated only because I feel like you need to be comfortable and know exactly how to emergency brake and not rely on it. But you guys are right. It's a good thing to fall back on in case you do make an accident and it's there. I don't have the luxury of that because mine's just a bone stock 17 Street Glide. I don't have ABS, so
okay.
Get it. Get one that has one, big dog.
Yeah, I will.
No, you're good.
I only got 2 more years until my bike's finally paid off. Bought it brand new, so it's been a while. I might have rolled some negative equity 4 different times, but
Right.
we're almost there. See the light at the end of the tunnel.
Does your car have ABS?
Yeah, my truck has ABS. I've
So
never really had to use it, but
I want you to think about that. And sometimes you might not even know you had to use it because if it's working good, you don't even know it's happening. But if I had to choose between having ABS on my car and on my motorcycle, I'd rather have it on the motorcycle. The car, I got all this protection around me, so if I hit something, I'll probably be okay.
Right.
Trade it in, man.
We got a question. Yeah, no, that thing is not getting traded in. I've put so much blood, sweat, swear words into that thing. So, all right.
Y'all heard him. Everybody heard him. He said never. I stopped using that word for a reason.
Right.
No, that's as soon as that engine goes out on there, it's getting a new engine. It's not going anywhere.
Okay.
All right. So my little cousin
snack?
Adam, he wants to know what your favorite snack is for riding.
I know no snack when I'm riding. I drink a little bit. I'm not that kind of drink. Wait a minute. Let me rephrase it. I don't snack too much, to be honest with you, when I'm riding. I pull over when I'm eating stuff like that. I just don't do that in that stuff. But I do, I do drink, just your regular Monsters, whatever, water, just whatever. But I'm more of a drink guy when I'm riding though.
Okay.
What about you, Robert?
Same thing. I don't eat anything on the motorcycle. I just stay hydrated.
Yeah. When I go on my long trips, I might keep like a protein bar or something, but if I'm zipping and trying to get somewhere, I'll drink some water, maybe some Gatorade, and keep on trucking.
Keep on trucking.
I know Papa D, he commented on the last live, he brings trail mix.
Yeah. And he wears a backpack full of water, so he could just
with the thing. Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good idea. That's it, actually.
Yeah, I didn't even know what those were until I joined the Army. I said, these things are pretty neat.
And Papa D keeps that thing on. I thought it was a part of his damn jacket because I always see it.
Yeah.
I was like, is there water in that thing? He's just wearing it. I'm gonna check the contents of that the next time I see Papa D. He's so smooth. I don't think there's water in there.
Yeah,
Giving you
right. Like I
sobriety
say,
chest.
you
Got a
got
cappuccino.
different
in
kind
there.
of drink. You got different kind of drink.
All right, guys. Well, we are going to move on into the giveaway. Hopefully it works this time. Last time, the program that I was trying to use was not working. But before we do that, I want to show you guys Eagle Lights website. They're the ones sponsoring this live stream, and you can use my promo code Jogo Motorcycle Adventures for 15% off your entire order. And today they're giving away a full set of their front and rear turn signals. So these are awesome lights. I know Paul can vouch for them. He has them on his. I have the turn signals on mine, but I did at one point have the headlight. But they're great lights. So if you want to enter into the giveaway, oh, I don't have it on here, but type in the chat #Eagle.
Joe, don't forget you got some questions in the comments too.
Yeah. We're gonna move into that right after the giveaway.
Okay.
I wanted to get this giveaway. So I'll give you 2 minutes. #Eagle, EAGLE.
Guys, hit the like button, please, if you haven't already. As a matter of fact, I got the video on my TV right here. I'm gonna like it right from my TV.
Check
Boom.
that, man.
Done.
Okay, let's see here. All right, we got some people typing it in. Don't type it in too many times or it'll time you out. And then I will add that it doesn't matter what kind of bike you have. They have turn signals for almost every type of bike. All right. Let's see. So I am going to type this in, and hopefully this works this time, guys. If it doesn't, I'm going to be very upset. Okay. Countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the winner Andrew Schultz. Andy has won the giveaway. My man.
All right, Big Andrew, huh? Okay.
Nice.
Well deserved. Well deserved.
Very nice.
And I couldn't be any more happier because he's one of the OGs of the channel. So it feels good to give it away to a subscriber that's been with me pretty much the entire time. And I'm pretty sure he's been with you, Robert, the entire time as well.
Yeah. Great guy, man. That's the doctor.
He's one of my subscribers too. Yeah, I met him when I came down with you, Robert, in April.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I finally might be able to. I haven't met him yet, so I'll probably meet him when the practice session after Daytona. So that'll be awesome.
Well, is he still on? Let's ask him. Is he going to be at the practice session? Oh, you're talking about the one on the 12th, right? In March?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Hopefully he can make that one.
Yeah, I hope so.
Because I know he's dying into that keyhole.
Right. He's also an excellent rider. So
he's improved quite a bit. He's been putting a lot of work. It shows for sure. Yep.
Yeah. So Andrew, shoot me an email or Facebook Messenger or whatever, what kind of bike you have, and then shoot me your address, and we'll go ahead and get those out to you. All thanks to Eagle Lights. Okay, so let's see. Let's scroll back up and try and find these questions. Yeah, so now it's just going to be Q&A. So if you guys got any questions, leave it down there in the chat. We'll get to them. I did that. What's your favorite snack? John Willis says, Robert, when are you going to visit Paul in Central Texas?
Oh, I think
Come on.
I think I just talked to Paul about this too. I said for me to get to Melissa, Texas, where my practice sessions are going to be in March, takes me about 16 hours. So I told Paul, you need to bring his ass to me.
I'm thinking about coming to Melissa, man. You don't mind if I show up?
Of course I don't mind. You crazy?
All right.
Come down, man.
That's about a 3-hour ride, I think. I might ride
Yeah,
that new
man.
trailer I got down there.
Yeah. So you add that onto my thing. Now I'm at 18, 19 hours. That's, Yeah, that'd be nice. Oh, yeah. I got the new trailer too. That'd be perfect.
New trailer.
Yeah, it's awesome. All right. Sango, that's my mom. She says, you all are so interesting and can't wait to attend the next live stream on my dinner break. Thanks,
Nice,
Mom.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's my first one ever, so it's all good.
Hey, man, you're
I'm actually liking this, man.
Of course.
Yeah.
What's not to like, man? You just you
hanging out with
yourself.
hanging out with some good dudes. It's all
Mhm.
good. Hanging out with some good dudes.
Absolutely.
It's all good.
Forward Love says this was a great show. Thanks for this. I enjoyed it from Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Old CLE, baby. All right, Jeff Stacy. Here we go. What do the guys think are the most important things to look for watching video of yourself riding? FYI, you can get great coaching from Paul through his channel. It's helped me make big improvements. No doubt.
Thank you.
What do you think are the most important things to look for? Well, it depends on what you're deficient in.
Right.
So if you see that you're not, for instance, we're always talking about a U-turn. Wow, 80 degrees here tomorrow in Pula. Okay, if you really if your U-turns are really wide, then you want to look at how quick you're turning your head and your eyes, how much you're leaning the motorcycle, how fast you're going. A lot of how close you are to the line you're starting the U-turn on. You got to look at a bunch of different things, but that all depends on what you're deficient in.
Yeah. Wheel placement. I think the biggest thing people miss, and they can be great riders, is wheel placement.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get that front wheel and get that bike to go where you want it to go. So a lot of that has to do with head and eyes, understanding the bike you're on. I did a video. I don't know if you guys saw it. I'm not trying to promote my stuff, but where depending on what bike you're on, your fairing will dictate, give you false perception of where the cone is, depending on what fairing you're. I did the one on my Kawasaki Concourse. I had a street glide and I had a road glide, and I had them. We rode and we stopped when the cone disappeared, and we all stopped at different distances.
Mm-hmm.
Because the big road, I think the road glide was the furthest way because it sits real high, real big fairing, and so that stuff affects you. It affects you a lot. So, and I got a drill I do for that. The cone drill I do. I checked it out too, help you with the wheel placement.
Mm-hmm.
Doing 18-foot turns, like Robert they'll tell you, if you're doing 18-foot turns, I can't afford to miss my wheel by a foot or two every time. Now you're working harder to make that turn. Now you're doing a 16-foot turn instead of an 18-foot turn.
Mm-hmm.
I always say, well, I work harder when you work smarter and just get the bike where you want it, and it'll free up a lot for you. So work on that wheel placement.
You heard what he said? This is what I'm talking about, first world problems. Now you're making a 16-foot turn, not an 18-foot turn. Most people would like to have that kind of problem.
Yeah, how awful. Man. Dang.
Yeah.
Couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
No, I did watch that. Oh, I was just going to
see
say. Yeah, I saw that video and light bulb went out, and like, man, I'm really leaving a lot of space on the table because it's hard to see over that batwing fairing, and then the road glide's even worse because it's the worst motorcycle ever made. But each their own.
Cue to riding. And I say this too when with Robert J, we're coaching and looking at people and helping people. A lot of times it's the small things that make the difference, right? We think of all the big things and the clutch, but a lot of things, the small things like wheel placement, turn the handlebars. Sometimes it's the small things that make the biggest difference. So anyway, that's just my opinion.
All right, so Brandon's bike says, do taller bars on a street glide make slow speed easier? I'll start off with this one. The stock handlebars on a street glide, take them off, throw them in the trash, do whatever you got to do with them. Nobody's going to buy them. But I would answer that question saying you want to have them whatever is good for you at about shoulder height, and then that changes the game because they're not smashing into your legs. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. Listen, the handlebars are the one thing, stock handlebars, that when I took off my motorcycle, I didn't even think for a second, who would want these? They went right in the garbage because I would never give somebody that garbage. With that being said, for a shorter rider, they might be fine. You know, just keep in mind that sometimes 14-inch bars might seem like, whoa, that's high. But you might be buying them to pull them toward you. Remember, the higher they are, the more you can pull them toward you, and then you're good to go. So, so when you said tall, you mean taller than stock, I'm assuming. And the answer to that is going to be whatever, as long as you can comfortably reach the clutch with the handlebars fully turned to the right. As far as I'm concerned, you're good to go. Comfortably.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to change mine out because they're a little too tall and I have them pulled back towards me. But now when I do that, if I lock them all the way, the where they curve at, they kind of hit the tank a little bit.
Oh no,
I don't want that.
Yeah.
And the width, the width matters too. So.
Right.
I'm laughing because I'm looking at what Ryan and Rich and
What are you saying?
I'm
unsubscribing. He said unsubscribing.
Oh, we'll find it. Oh yeah. Thank you.
Listen, don't unsubscribe. That's his opinion, you know. His opinion, just like your opinion is it's the best motorcycle. His is it's the worst, you know.
Yeah, it's not the greatest, but anyways. Yeah, if you guys are liking this, it looks like we got about 31 people in here. Hit that like button, help out the channel a little bit.
Oh yeah,
I got Christopher Q. Hey Q, have you started working on that right keyhole yet? To the right yet?
Good question. Good question. Now it's funny you should ask him that. So one thing I don't do is if I see somebody struggling to do something, and when they finally do it, I don't say to them, "All right, try it the other way now." I know they're going to do it eventually, but I don't ever want people to feel like I said that before in Preloaded Nation. There's always going to be somebody trying to tear you. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, Paul.
Yeah. I'm just messing with
always out there. There's always somebody out there trying to tear you down. So I'll do a video. I'll put a short out of me doing like a real tight U-turn with my wife on the back of the motorcycle to the left, and then there will be no acknowledgement of that. It'll just be, yeah, let me see you do it to the right.
Right.
Really, it's somebody that doesn't watch my channel.
Right.
The haters.
That's not what I'm doing to you, Q. I'm just messing with you, big dog.
He put not yet.
I'm just messing with you.
He put not yet. It's just you're gonna have to try it. I mean, he's gonna have to try it. It's can't just make left. Well, we're in the United States, so most of the time we're left anyway.
Yeah.
Like a NASCAR, and I hear you.
But I think that. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
I was just gonna read this question, Robert. Do you have a schedule of planned events? And I believe you do on your Facebook group. You make those events.
Yes. So all of the things that are scheduled right now are on my. I put them on Facebook and events. I also did a video on it, and it's on my website under scheduled events. So, and I got some more stuff in the pipeline, guys. I'm talking to people in Pennsylvania, and I'm talking to people in. It's another part of Georgia. It's like 2.5 hours from me. Daredevil Harley Davidson. I think that's the name of the dealership. So I'm working some stuff out.
Cool.
Cool.
All right. Zachary Lobenthal says, "What is Chuck's favorite riding snack?" Last time I checked, I think it's beef jerky and pork rinds.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Pork rinds.
Chewing tobacco.
Yeah. No, he's tobacco free. He's pretty what do you call that? Clean cut or
Really? He's not smoking anything?
no. Not in front of me at least.
Oh yeah, there we go.
So Madison says, if you're behind a motorcycle that is waiting to turn left, is it okay to pass on the right in the same lane since the motorcycle doesn't take up the whole lane?
No.
Probably not so. Yeah. No.
Yeah,
unless he waves you, he or she, unless they motion you to go, no. Hit the horn and then see what they say. Because even not moving, if it's somebody that knows how to ride, Paul and I, and we can make a turn from a stop, just lean right into it. So, no. That's a
Right.
50 push-up penalty.
Okay, so Six Door 74 says Rufus has 18-inch bars and does great on his bike.
That's
Rufus
right.
is a little bit taller though.
That's right. Rufus ain't that tall. I'm taller than Rufus.
Oh, well, he's
Yeah.
taller than me, so everyone looks
Yeah.
taller than me.
I mean,
Yeah, right.
does excellent. Good point, Mario.
Yeah. Right. Andy asks, what size bars do you have, Joe? Mine are 12s. I think I might move down to 10, and then they'll be tucked behind the fairing because I don't need them too high. 12s are comfortable. So we'll see. I might sit on a couple bikes and see what 10s feel like. I don't think it's going to be that big of a difference. Yeah. What size bars do you guys have on your bike?
I have 10-inch bars on my Street Glide. That's Valiant. 12-inch bars on Angel and 12-inch bars on Valiant. On Violet.
Yeah, I like.
I'd say two
So
sets.
I just have right now on that, man. I just have the stock that I kind of rolled up a little bit just to get them off of me. But I don't have any bars yet. But you said Angel had
Angel's 12 inches.
12-inch bars. Yeah,
Yep.
I like that.
Of course, man.
I think that's what I would go with. It worked out good for me.
What practice session were you in?
41.
Okay, so whoever didn't see Paul riding, you check that out. That was like your first time really doing all of that on the Harley, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, he got on that bike, did a couple of blah blah blah. All right, let's do it. That's all it takes, man. Once you learn where that friction zone is,
That's it. It's all the same. Doesn't matter. It's all the same.
good to go. And I got to tell you, I see him on his videos riding before he got his Harley. His shoulders were never as high as they are now. He get off that Harley, he was like, "Yo, man, it's good, man."
Felt like a real man after that.
Yeah.
All
Somebody
right.
asked, somebody named Madison. Do you know who that is?
I
They asked something
believe
about
so.
what's the most scenic road we've ever. Oh, it's Madison R. What is the
Yeah.
most scenic, beautiful route you've ridden, Joe?
Mm, I would say anywhere in Tennessee. Terra Holla Skyway is beautiful. I mean, that blows Tail of the Dragon out of the water.
Yeah.
I mean, anywhere in Tennessee, but I haven't really traveled out west too much yet. I know there's a lot of beautiful riding out there. Really only rode in North Carolina, Tennessee, and whatever's through like Georgia and Florida. West
Yeah.
Virginia is pretty nice too.
I definitely don't get out that much with a motorcycle either. So right now, Tennessee's at the top of my list. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that was just beautiful. This is why Run to the Hills. He can go up to Run to the Hills 10, and I told him, he was like, I think I'm gonna do something different, dude. You don't have to change anything. Like, it's beautiful. This is in your backyard. That's why you're thinking about it like this. But
Right,
for
right.
us, yeah, I would not mind every year just coming and riding those same roads. It's beautiful.
So for me, man, I actually in September, I only saw the video I did. I went to the $1 Million Highway,
Mm-hmm.
and man, that was nice, scenic. But what I found is you really can't enjoy the scenery because you got drop offs. You know what I mean? You can't be looking. Yeah, you got to be paying attention to what you're doing. So I'm like this. I'm like this. Oh, that's nice. The whole time. So, but it was real nice though. I like
Did
that.
you use your 360 camera?
The one you gonna send me? No.
You could have gone back. You could have gone back and watched it, man.
I know.
All right. So Eddie McLean, this is a pretty good one. Best tips to avoid a deer leaping into your path of travel.
Mm.
To
I
avoid
would say that
That's almost
emergency
impossible.
braking
Yeah.
is definitely one of them.
Slow
if it's
down.
just-
I just slow down, man, when you see them, because you never know what they're going to do. You know what I mean? You can't guess what they're going to do. So,
a lot of this depends on the type of road you're riding on too. Like if you're riding on a tree-lined road where you can't see something until it runs out, you got to go slower. You got to
Slow
go
down.
slower and kind of try to stay near the middle of. It depends if it's a 1 lane, 2 lane, whatever. But
yeah.
we got to always be thinking. I said I was going to do a video on this as well. When people say, "What best positioning would you recommend as far as being in the lane? And the answer is the same as it usually is. It depends.
Depends.
It all depends on what's going on. So I am going to try to do a video on that and try to come up with different scenarios on where I would be, where I suggest you would be. But sometimes there's no right or
That's
wrong
what I do
answer.
with the deer. Yeah, with the deer too, man. I try to stay if you got high grass on both sides, and let's say there's no median, I kind of ride in the middle, give myself a buffer between both sides. Maybe I can sit in time.
Yeah.
That's really all you can do is just kind of give yourself a best chances of getting overcoming that. So, and always distance. The more the better chance you have of seeing something, the better chance you have of overcoming that. So
That's right.
Yeah, and if you're riding at night, don't override your headlight.
Yep.
Don't go faster than what you can stop in that length of the headlight. And another thing at night is always keep your eyes peeled for those like the eyes, how they glow when the light hits them.
Yeah.
And if you got a stock headlight on a Harley Davidson and it's nighttime, just leave the bike in the garage.
Yeah. Get your ticket set.
No
Yeah,
doubt.
if you have an Indian, you'll be all right. This comes with an LED.
LEDs. If you don't have them, get them.
Yes, absolutely.
That's the first thing I did on my Harley I bought, man. Thanks to Eagle lights, but I've changed them all out. All about being seen and being able to see.
And now Andrew's going to be sporting some Eagle light LEDs.
That's right.
Yeah, that's awesome. So riding and wrenching, he said Harley said the Road is the best bike that Harley Davidson makes. I don't know, Q. I don't think the Road is a bike.
Yeah, me either. The Road, I don't know, but do they? I mean, now I will say he constantly says Harley Davidson said this is the best. What do you expect him to say? It's the worst. It's their motorcycle. I think Joe's opinion is more objective than Harley Davidson's.
Oh man. All right. So what else we got here? Q says keyhole to the right. Got me again.
That's
Got
right.
me again.
Blame the computer. He's blowing up the comment section.
Yeah. You got him fired up.
Road Glide won the slow race. Yeah. Well,
That was
That's
against
Chuck, though, right? That's what you said, right? That was with Chuck. That wasn't
that
you.
was Chuck. He beat me virtually, but he probably cheated his time. So fine. I'll let him get that W. Okay. I don't know what this means. Paul can ride number 41.
Oh yeah, I was there with Beverly too.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, he was there.
So
It was a good time, man. I had a good time with you guys, man, out there. I talk about it all the time, Robert.
It was, man. And
listen,
it's so funny because even that, you were like, this is the first time I've ever doing anything like this. So
yeah,
Paul's been a virgin in a lot of stuff and comes out like a champ at the end. The power of these motorcycles and YouTube together, it's just unstoppable, man.
Yeah.
It really is.
I really didn't start traveling until the first time that I came out to your practice session in Georgia. I just stay local, just like Paul. I mean, there's so much to see out there.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Andrew said loud pipes are good for deer. That reminds me of people that say loud pipes saves lives. And what do we always say about that, Paul? It might help, but what really saves lives, practice.
Yes. I saw a T-shirt somebody the other day said, what did it say? Loud pipe saves lives, but what? Hey, let me find it. Go ahead.
I saw that T-shirt too.
You see it?
Yeah, it was on Facebook or Instagram, one of the two, but it was good.
It was good.
Papa D commented about the most beautiful ride, Beartooth Pass, Highway 12 from Missoula Mount to Lewiston, Idaho. Papa D's been everywhere. So
yeah, I was just about to say
I don't know where the heck half of these places are.
Papa D has been.
Here it is, right here. I got it right here. It says, "If loud pipes save lives, imagine what learning to ride that thing could do."
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. You can't argue with that.
I like it.
Yep.
Cannot argue with that.
If Stacy says Angels Crest, California, 2 up to Idlewide.
I definitely want to get out to California.
Yeah, I'd see a lot of good stuff from Boots and Jeans riders.
Yeah.
California looks awesome. All right. Oh, he said not Idlewild, Wrightwood. Autocorrect. Andy says North Carolina is the best riding he's ever seen. I can I can agree with that. North Carolina and Tennessee they're really similar. Right. D says, hold your line and keep power to the rear wheel.
There you go. Did I see a super chat from Ryan and Rinchin? I thought I did. I mean, he's that type of guy, man. He loves doing stuff like that.
Oh, DC Cycler said Big Rob scored extra points. Indian Lights.
Listen, it is what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is. I was talking to Finesse, JT, and Crystal a couple of days ago. These are all Indian riders, and I said, listen, when it comes, this is not anything to argue about. You know, when it comes to technology and stuff like that, if an Indian guy is talking to a Harley Davidson rider, the Harley Davidson rider just needs to shut up and listen, because there's not much to say. But at the end of the day, it doesn't change the fact, and it doesn't make sense. It's not logical that if I have my choice, this one costs less, gives me more. It goes against everything a consumer would think. This one costs less and would give me more. This one costs more and gives me less. Yeah, I'll take this one. It's just, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know, I got them all now. I got the Indian, right? I bought the 2018 Indian Chieftain.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't see the video.
That Matt White.
You did a video on
Yeah,
it?
I hadn't had no video on it yet.
Come on, man.
How are we going to know?
I need to get it out there, right? So I got that one. I got my Concourse still. I've got the Road King. What's that? Boots and jeans? Got the Concourse and then my BMW for work. So I got them all.
What's the matter with you?
Can we all just get along? That's what I tell everybody.
Why you got so many motorcycles? What's the matter with you?
Look who talking over there.
Boots and jeans riders in the house.
There he
I'm looking forward to seeing this Indian.
Yeah, you have to throw it up there. Put a video on it.
When did you get that? I'm sorry, go ahead, Joe.
Oh, I was just gonna say SS Goldwing said Tail of the Dragon, baby. He took that thing on the Tail of the Dragon. He hasn't been riding that long. That's impressive.
Nice.
We're going there in September. We're going to Tail of the Dragon in September. Me and Corporal John Wills here and a couple other sergeants and stuff. We're going to go down there in September. First week of September, I think. I'm gonna check it out here, so I can see what y'all are talking about.
And listen, it's a good ride. To me, it's like a roller coaster. You do it once and then you get off. You can do it again and again and again. But to me, it was fun because where I am, everything is flat and straight. So I really had to concentrate on looking through these turns.
Yeah.
And and again, when Paul was talking about one of the biggest things in slow speed was wheel placement, it's the same thing going through curves too. Sometimes people commit to their lean too late. They're going too fast. All of that stuff matters. And then when they see they're going wide, they have no clue what to do. And next thing you know, they're in the woods. So, what they'll do riding a Harley or a bagger type bike is say, "Oh, I'm not going to make it. I need to lean more." When the bike doesn't have that much lean angle, so
Yep. Then
slow down, trail braking, use that front brake.
Eddie McLean says best ride is 2 days on the Blue Ridge Parkway from Cherokee, North Carolina to Virginia, 469 miles of heaven on earth views. Yeah, Blue Ridge Parkway, it's up there. Papa D agrees. Tail's fun, but not scenic. Boots and jeans riders. Tail of the Dragon is very nice, but ...
Hey, Rich from Boots and Jeans. I never got an invite to your retirement party from YouTube. What's going on, man? I haven't seen a video in a while, man.
No, he's put out some videos.
He has?
Yeah. They just went to, oh man, it was I forget what state, but it was the whole thing about a bus and people were treated badly.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it was like a monument. It was good.
1,000 pardons.
Brian Rinchin agreed. Tail of the Dragon is overrated, but it's still fun. I can hop on that wagon.
Yeah.
It is. If I can get a clean run, like even going back the video I did, going back, I had a clean run for most of it, but then I caught up to some, So if you ride it slow, you're going to be fine. But I wanted to get into it a little bit. Man, it is fun. It's fun because it's challenging, but I'm not doing anything crazy either.
Right.
Like if I see the sun coming up saying 15 miles per hour, like that's not a suggestion. You need to slow down.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Boots and jeans. They did on the Freedom Riders.
Oh yes, I did
That's
see
right.
that. I
That's
did
right.
see that.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. That was awful and crazy. Andy says, "Let me know when you go to the tail of the dragon, Paul. It's not that far from me." Yeah,
Sure will,
he lives
man.
out
I'll
there.
hit you up. Yep. We'll hit you up.
Hey Joe, what's your favorite slow speed maneuver?
I would say the figure eight. I like the figure eight
Ah,
the most.
you gonna
That's
get
the
that
one that
down?
I practice the
You
most.
gonna get that down to 4 parking spaces?
I can.
I know you can.
Yeah, I got it down to 4 parking spots, but I want to conquer that keyhole,
Mm-hmm.
and then next time I see Q, I'm going to beat him in the slow race.
Well, no, not even that. I don't know if Q's going to be at the practice session in March. Like I said, hopefully he is. But I know it's going to be a lot of crap being talked. But that's going to be show and prove day for both of you guys. So
Yeah,
when
right.
you get in that keyhole, all you got to do is do it going right, and that's it for him.
See?
He's done. He's done. And Paul had the audacity in practice session number 41, the audacity to go in the figure eight and do it in more than. I was like, "What are you doing, man? 4 parking
Yeah.
spaces, motor
I always
officer."
try, I always try to just, you say, man, what you doing? I say, okay, all right.
What
I'll
are you
do
doing,
it.
man?
Yeah, hey, I try to just
People gonna go back and watch this. Like, come on now.
right.
This guy's a teacher.
Right. I try this, I try not to, we get it. We got it in there.
Love the keyhole boots and jeans. That'd be even better, man. If we can get
Yeah.
well, these guys are all the way on the West Coast, but then again, they're all over the place. If we can get all of us there, us three, Q, Mario. Oh my gosh, man.
Maybe
never
we can
know,
do
man.
it in a middle point.
It can sound like something we
everybody.
have to try to get together. Yeah.
So Joe, when are you gonna be? I know you said it at the beginning of the video, but some people came on late. Yes, they can go back and watch the video, but when are you gonna be in Daytona? The exact date?
I'm going to be there March 9th. I'll be arriving March 9th. I'm going to be
Okay.
leaving early in the morning. So the day's going to be pretty much shot when I get there. I might go out for a little bit, but nothing too crazy.
Dude, don't play yourself. You doing an iron butt? You talking about you going out? No, you need to go in your room and just take it easy, relax. I can
Yeah.
only imagine how much that takes out of you.
Yeah, I mean, the most I've done was, I think, 700 in one trip. I went straight from Georgia to back home. That was a long one. But
So remember you were doing an interview with Ryan and Renchen, and the question was, I think it was on a long distance ride, what are the 3 most important things you would bring with you? Remember that question?
yeah.
Paul, what would you bring?
Rain gear. I always bring rain gear.
Mm-hmm.
Even my work bike every day could be metal. I always have my rain gear with me. What's I bring? Got to bring some tire for tire flats.
Mm-hmm.
So I bring plugs and air and water.
Okay.
Okay.
Water. Yep. Is that good enough? Is that good? Did that
Yeah,
pass?
that's
Does that
good,
pass?
You know what?
What's yours,
I,
Robert?
I had 2 things on my list. I guess it could be 3. It was my truck, my trailer, and my motorcycle.
Now you talk. That's
All that other stuff will fit in there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, my truck, trailer, and
Unbelievable.
motorcycle. Those are the 3 things I would
nice.
bring.
I like it. I like that.
So Brandon's bike says with slow speed, I know you want to keep your torso vertical. What about when you are in high speed turns? Do you want to lean with the bike or keep your torso vertical?
Lean with the bike
Yeah.
at higher speeds. Lower speeds, keep your body vertical, and sometimes even going extreme, the extreme opposite will help. Like, so I've said for years, my right turns were worse than my left turns, and I came to the realization that that's just the way it's always going to be, because I felt like it was just in my brain, and to make a positive out of it, I would just tell myself I can't be complacent making a right turn tight. I have to really pay attention. Then I changed the handlebars on Angel to 12-inch bars. I scooted up on the tank, and now when I counter lean or counterbalance, I do it almost to an extreme, and now my right turns are better than my left. It's the craziest thing. I never
Yeah.
thought I would be saying that.
Yeah.
So this is what I mean when I say sometimes it's an equipment change and sometimes it's body positioning. You know, it's so many factors come into play that can make things harder or easier for you. But what I like to tell people is, we're not out there trying to teach you to do these things for a competition. These, like all of the stuff we're talking about, this is more important when you're doing practicing in the parking lot. But when you're out riding in the real world, you're not going to be leaning off the seat to make a turn. You might, you know, to show off a little bit, but it's not really
Right.
necessary. Out in the real world, you're not making turns that tight, but it's still cool and good to be able to do so in case you need to.
Right. Karen says, "Hello,
Hey,
all.
what's up,
Sergeant
Karen?
Paul, your fish aquarium
Oh,
is beautiful."
appreciate that.
Hey, Karen.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
I
Karen's
did
been around
notice
with them
that.
for a long time. Yeah. This year, yeah, got I'm more in the back, got some lizards
Is
in the
that
back.
turtle?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, lizards
okay.
in the back. Yeah, my boy stuff. But
Very nice. Very nice. Jeff Stacy says, "Money on pipes, chrome kits is fun, but putting money towards any riding class past the MSF basic class to get motorcycle license isn't a cost; it's an investment in
Yep.
you. 37 to 61% reduction in fatalities. It's fun. 100%.
here we go.
Couldn't have put that better myself. I
Nope.
say it all the time, and I reference that to my videos. Like you got some, everybody wants a quick fix, you know, for
Mhm.
everything, not just this. You know, we want
Yeah,
everything done
that's
quick.
right.
We don't
Yeah,
want to
everything.
invest any time. So if somebody says oh damn, the videos are long, can I'm like, listen, it's an investment in you. Now, not everybody's going to need all of that information, but if you know you're that person, you really can't afford to skip around. And the analogy I use is, if you skip around on the study material and then get a 60 on the test, is it the wonder why you got a 60? You're missing information. So
Right. Boots
now,
and Jeans says, "What do you all consider a long ride?" This definitely varies between everybody.
good
Yeah.
question. Well,
I
for
would,
me, and I'm not even doing it,
Mhm.
but I don't have to do it to know that if you're on that motorcycle um, more than 5 hours, and I'm not talking about if you have a baby tank. I started to say if you have to fill up the bike twice, but that's a long time to be on the
Yeah.
motorcycle. Now, some people, like they have their motorcycle situated where the handlebars are right here, the seats right here, and they're just sitting there, just rolling down the road, you know. But everybody's body's different, you know. It's still a lot. It's a lot. And riding a motorcycle, it wears you out. It wears you out, especially
Yeah.
slow speed maneuvering. That's why I tell people
Yeah.
don't ride 5 hours here, do a whole practice session, and now you're gonna ride back. I
Right.
don't know. You're not getting no wind roll therapy and slow speed motorcycle maneuvering. You out there working, man.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. Yep. About 5 hours, probably a pretty good little ride.
Yeah, I would say
That's
if we're talking hours, I would say a long motorcycle ride is going to be 8 9 hours. Now miles, that's going to vary for everybody,
right.
but my opinion, I would say about 500 miles. That's a pretty long ride. Boots and Jeans for them, theirs is probably like
Oh yeah.
3,000 for
Yeah,
a day or
exactly. Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. Them
Well,
gold wings, man.
I guess his question was a long ride. Then there's very long ride. Then there's excessively long ride.
Right, right, right.
So like you're
Yeah.
getting ready to do an iron butt. That's excessively long.
Right.
That's a long damn ride. 1,000 miles. That's why
Yeah.
I stopped complaining. That drive to Texas, 15 hours, whatever. I'm in the truck. You know, people are doing this on their motorcycles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whew,
That's
Yep.
a lot.
it's a lot, boy.
Fatigue is a real thing too, man. I tell people fatigue
Oh yeah.
is a real thing. So you got to watch that when you're on these bikes for a long time.
There we go. Papa D's answer right there.
Riding and wrenching. I've done 2 iron butts. I'm riding to Nova Scotia, Canada in the summer. Jeff Stacy seconds Paul's aquarium.
Yep, yep, yep. Thank you, thank you.
Got Line on Twos in here, another content creator. Check out his channel.
What's going on,
And
brother?
Papa D rides. Comfortable day is 400 to 500 miles. 700 plus is a long day. That's
Yep,
like a textbook answer right there.
yep.
Yeah. He would know.
DC
And he did
Cycler, we did 14 hours straight back from Daytona last year to DC.
Mhm. He's a long distance rider too.
DC Cycler?
Yeah, he's a long distance
Yeah.
rider.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why it's so hard for him to turn those handlebars and make a U-turn in less than 27 feet. Because you're so used to going straight.
See.
I'm just messing with you, man.
I didn't know these handlebars turn.
No, he
Leon too
definitely
says that, yeah, a good long ride in a day for me is usually 700 miles. Yeah, that's a long one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a long. I tell you what, man. When I got an Indian for the first time though, because I was always in my Kawasaki, that changed my life, man. Come to riding long distance, just
Mhm.
that back and
Oh,
cruising,
Oh yeah.
cruise control,
Mhm.
floorboards. I mean, it was like 9 day.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure there's a hip replacement surgery in my future, because that's the thing that keeps me from even thinking about riding long distance. I
Yeah,
could
yeah.
take a 30-minute ride and be in so much pain I got to shut
Really,
it down.
really.
So, and
Jesus.
it's inconsistent. So, I wouldn't even feel comfortable saying, all right, let me try this. Like even riding to Daytona is only 2 hours, but I have to think twice about it because if I'm suffering an hour in, what am I going to do?
Yeah,
I got to
right.
just
It's no
power
point.
through it.
Right.
Sucks.
Jeez. Yep. Well, all right. Let's take
Here
one
we
more
go.
look at the
Here we
comments.
go.
Anybody got any last minute questions here? Oh God, I don't know if I want to put this comment
I
up.
told you.
Nothing
There
like
you
a
go.
road glide, limited on a long ride. Yeah.
Somebody,
Well,
I think, Finesse, I saw a comment from him. And he was asking us about what do we think
Oh,
about the Harley Davidson release, whatever video. Or
mm.
oh yeah, that was way up there. Yeah. So, did you guys watch it?
Mm-mm.
I watched some of it.
Okay.
You know,
So,
it's the
I,
biggest thing.
I,
The biggest thing I took away from that is there's a roguelike trike. I think
yeah,
that's a phenomenal idea. Because if for people that like roguelites, if they when you want to move over to a trike, you had to take a backwing fairing. But now if they want to continue the ugliness, they can do it on a trike. So that's good.
right.
Yeah, no sense. No sense.
No, so I will be honest. That road glide trike caught my eye a little bit
Yeah.
because they just completely redid it. They got the bigger wheels in the back, the wrapped fenders, the whole back end looks different.
Hmm.
But
But if you really
it's
look at it, they didn't really do anything different. Remember, the street glide and the road glide are the same. I mean, they're the same motorcycles.
right.
Yeah,
They
Yeah.
yeah.
just put that fairing on the front. They put a well. That's the other thing. That's not a CVO either. So there's more to come from that. I'm
Yep.
interested to see what that's going to look like.
Yeah. Would you guys think about the color scheme for the 120th?
Meh.
Didn't see
Let
it.
me pull it up. I'll
Yeah.
pull it up real quick.
So when it comes to these things, Harley Davidson is really good at here it comes, and people are all hyped up. Ooh, and all the speculation they're gonna do. Well, the CVOs are not out yet, but they're gonna put a 131 in the CVO. It's the 120th anniversary, and then when it comes, oh, we just changed some colors. It's nothing else is new.
Right.
Let's look on a pig.
Let's see. I'll pull up. So
They put-
now I do like let me share my screen real quick. I do like the paint scheme on the Road Glide, but it's still ugly.
Are you talking about?
Um,
Well, they all have the same color. You talking about the anniversary paint job, the red one?
no, the Road Glide's slightly different.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Well, they got a roguelite CVO. They do have that.
Okay. So on the Road Glide here, they got the eagle up here, and then it flows down with all the wings across. I could be mistaken, but I swear they said that's the only one that has like the eagle right here that flows down. Oh, okay, okay. I see what you're saying. Right.
something like that. I don't know. I thought I saw a number on the gas tank. One
Yeah,
of.
I think it's like 3,000 or 4,000, something like that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's a
Yep.
it's a limited edition, which is always gonna fetch people buying it. But at the end of the day, you're riding the same Road Glide they were riding last year. They just changed the paint.
Right.
Same
Right.
engine, no Revolution Max, no 120, no 122, still a 117, just like the ST models. It's just underwhelming.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what DC Cycler said. HD release today was underwhelming, and I don't even own a Harley. But he must be interested because he watched it. So
Well, they're gonna watch stuff because you're gonna always watch the biggest and the best. It doesn't mean best motorcycles, but it just means best. They do it best.
right. Yeah, let me know what you guys are down in the chat. What you guys thought about that release? And McLean says Shark Nation rules, y'all. Debatable. Victoria Brown, appreciate this live stream video from Joe Go, Paul, and Robert.
Hey, Victoria,
Thank you.
appreciate you
We
being
appreciate you.
Yeah,
viewing
appreciate
in,
it. Yes.
tuning in.
Great time. Yeah.
riding and wrenching is blowing up the comments. At this point, it's like
Yeah. DC Cycler, there's some new Harley gear for you to ride on your Indian. Yeah,
here we go.
it's still better than a Road Glide. Road Glide trike is a freewheeler with a fairing. Yes.
Mhm. It's eye catching though. It's
Yeah, it
eye-catching
is. It
because it's
really
different,
is.
too. Like when I first saw it, I was like, what am I looking at? And yeah, sure enough, Road Glide, shark nose fairing on a trike.
But Victoria likes the fairing on the freewheeler. Now they released that other one too without the fairing. That one's
Yeah.
sharp as well. I like that one. Probably the most.
Yeah, but that's not new. That's like the least expensive trike.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have nothing on it. Basic. Jeff Stacy, dang, Road Glide's bringing 1975 back with that paint. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't born yet, unfortunately.
I was 3 years old.
Yeah.
The furthest I can go back to where I know the color schemes was 2000, where it was black and silver. I'm just a fan of that.
I wasn't into any of this stuff in the year 2000. Like this whole motorcycle thing, believe it or not, it really became prevalent to me and important to me when I moved here to Georgia and started this. Because prior to this, I would ride, I would go do some stuff, but none of this was like, that's why even now, are you going to this rally? But my thing about a rally is the most important thing is, meeting guys and girls.
Yes, and people. Yep.
FaceTime, hugging, touching, stuff like that. Touching. Easy, Robert. Shaking hands, hugging, that's what it's all about to me, man. So
yeah, I'm not too interested in the rallies either. More for the riding, where the location is.
Yeah.
I don't like being jammed with a whole bunch of people shoulder to shoulder. So,
which is never it hasn't really been the case where I was, but I got to tell you, man, as much as I say I don't feel like doing it, once I get there and after it's done, I'm so glad I did it.
Yeah. Yep. Brandon's bikes, we just
Go ahead, Joe.
Congrats to Brandon's bikes. We just picked up my wife's Tri-Glide Ultra last night.
Oh yeah.
Very nice.
Here we go.
All right, sorry, Robert. What were you gonna say?
Now I was going to ask Paul if he was going to Sturgis. You got a new trailer, man. So
I know. I need to start do some of that, man. I haven't been in any of those things yet. I need to.
yeah,
You talking about that the bike week?
yeah.
I'm gonna hit that at least one time. But you guys, are you done? You can't be done. You guys gonna go again after this year to the bike week?
Well, Sturgis is different than Daytona.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm talking about Daytona.
Oh no,
You guys,
well, Joe, didn't you say, what did you say about Daytona after this year?
I might skip it because I want to try to do something different.
Yeah.
I'll go back, but
hmm
not next year.
you take a little break.
Yeah, he said that now. We'll talk to Joe and see
Mm.
what happens.
Yeah, let me know.
We'll
I gotta
see.
meet y'all up there.
Hey,
I gotta meet y'all up this one year.
I still got to work, so me and Paul don't
Yeah,
have the luxury
yeah,
like Robert
that's
being
right. That's
retired,
right. Exactly.
getting out of
Full
bed
time
when you
job,
want,
you
going
know.
to sleep when you want.
Yeah, you know.
Jeff Stacy wants to know, have Paul or Robert competed in any motor officer rodeo competitions? Thoughts on the experience?
Negative for me.
Yeah. So I started last years. I was in it, and one of my guys broke his foot, so I had to do all the stuff so I get to finish it. Tough. First time. I mean, you got to be on your A game for sure.
hmm
But there's good experience. Probably do the one this year. I may come see you, Robert, in March, but there's one
Okay.
in March as well. But yeah, my first time, and it was a lot of good riders, a lot of hard patterns, but it's all the same. Wheel placement,
Yep.
I mean, that's the key. But yeah, really good experience though.
And that's why when you asked that question in the beginning, what slow speed maneuver do we think is the most important? That's why we both said U-turn. And Paul said, if you could do a tight U-turn, that there's pretty much anything out there consists of that.
Yep.
It's just a matter of a lot of the times, if it's a quick transition, it's just a quick
Right.
transition, and then you go right into another tight U-turn. So,
Yep. Yep. And I tell people all these bikes to do is what 360, 180, and a 90-degree turn. That's all these
yep.
motorcycles to do.
hmm
So
Mhm.
if you can get, I mean, that's really it if you want to simplify it. So if you can master that, you can do pretty much anything after that.
Yep.
Get those U-turns down.
Good question.
Yeah.
And like Joe was talking about the figure eight, man, that's a good exercise for people to start with
hmm
because you don't need a lot of cones,
Mhm.
Yep.
2 pivot points, and you can work on everything that you need to work on. Head
hmm
and eyes, friction zone, lean the bike, all that in that one exercise.
Yep.
Yeah. I've also heard, like, even if they have like different levels of those rodeos, even for like beginners, and I'm in a couple groups and everyone seems like they're nice people. They tell you to come out regardless of your skill level and just
Yes,
come
yes,
and do it.
yes. And then you guys know, man, motorcycle riders in general and the motorcycle officers, motor officers I mean, it's a tight group. And so you got the best riders out there that are helping the new riders, give them points on where to be. So it's really good atmosphere. It really is a good atmosphere. You would think these good riders be like, hey, I'm in it for me. But man, they'll give you tips and
hmm
help you through that stuff. So that's what it's all about, right? Even at that level.
Yeah.
Just helping
And
people get better.
somebody
Yeah, I'd
sent
love
me,
to do that.
and then you have people like us doing stuff online. So, somebody sent me an email and he said he's been riding for 40 years. And one thing he say from when he started riding to now, there's no excuse for anybody to not know how to ride a motorcycle properly. It's so much out there to help you. It's just a matter of people wanting to actually do it. But what are those two words I hear all the time? I'm good.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. I pray that you are.
Yeah, you're good till you're not. That's what I tell
Right.
people.
Yep. Exactly.
You're good till you're not. And I put it like this to a lot of people when I talk is it's just a bit different mindset. For anything else we do in life, whether it be sports, job, whatever it is, we always want to be the best we could be, right?
Yeah.
But riding with two
Mhm.
wheels, I call it the jungle when you're out there on the road.
Mm-hmm.
We're good with mediocre or below mediocre,
Yep.
and I don't get that. I don't understand it. But
Well,
just a mindset.
we're really pushing the rock uphill because, for instance, if I go and make a U-turn, I'm not talking about anything crazy, just a smooth U-turn. The first response is, that must be a motor officer. So, like, I feel like the motorcycle riding community has just accepted the fact that they're gonna
Good point.
ride like that. I'm gonna drag my feet and just, hope everything works out. But
Mhm.
there's a lot of people that think what they're doing is the way you ride because I'll get questions and say, here's what happened. Like the guy that sent me an email and it said he's making a turn in a cul-de-sac. There's a Jeep sitting there. It's not moving. And as he gets closer, the Jeep pulls out. So what does he do? He grabs the front brake, turns the handlebar. Him and his wife go down on the motorcycle. They weren't injured. But his question was, what was I supposed to do? That question is so, it tells so much, because if you don't have any idea what to do in that situation, whereas Paul and I, whatever we need to do, we're just going to do it. Go back into the friction zone, straighten out the handlebars, rear brake, boom. So, that's why it's not just about us teaching people technique. Like Paul said, it's a mindset. We have to make people understand that what you're doing is not just about looking cool, but it can save your life, especially if you have the audacity to put somebody on the back of the motorcycle with you.
I know, and that's the thing, and I talk to these groups, and all the time, and I tell them, I said, we all have loved ones. This is how I look at it. This is why I try to be the best I can be. This is why I try to get my guys to be the best they can be. Is mindset. I'm like, look, we all have loved ones that are allowing us to ride these bikes. They're allowing you to do what you love to do. So for me, I owe it to them to be the best I can be.
That's right.
Whatever that is, I owe it to my family for allowing me to do this to be the best I can be. Now, things happen. There's always a point of no return on everything. I can get in a crash tomorrow going to work, but at least because things happen, right? But my family would know that it wasn't because of my lack of dedication, my lack of putting work in. Sometimes things happen, but it's just change that mindset. You got to change your mindset.
Yes. And I'm busy. I don't have time, but I'm still riding. So,
Right.
You don't need cones. You don't even need to go to a parking lot. If the house that you're leaving from, you have to make a right or a left turn, practice that. And if you notice the first time you're doing it, you're way over the line, you're going to notice that's going to get tighter and tighter. It's just a state of mind. If you tell yourself, let me try this and practice it, it counts. It counts. And I'll also say, like I said in my 2-up video, people that usually ride on the back of the motorcycle, they assume that the person riding the motorcycle knows what they're doing. So they won't even question anything. And they also won't pick up when the person is doing something like dragging their feet and stuff like that. So my advice is, before you get on the back of the motorcycle, ask the person riding, do me a favor, just do a U-turn right here. If they can't do it, tell them, no. I'm taking the bus. You practice, and when you're ready, I'll get on the bus.
Right. Yep.
I mean, I'm not throwing shade, but at the end of the day, we got to be responsible. It's dangerous. And that's precious cargo.
It is.
On the back, they're your responsibility. It's all on you. Imagine the pilot on the plane you're flying on said, screw that. I don't need to practice. I don't need to go for more training. I got this. You going to feel good on that plane? I don't think so.
And your rider has to be comfortable with you practicing with them on the back, because a couple times I popped into a parking lot with my wife and we're getting ready to leave. And I start doing some figure eight. She's like, you better stop that.
Yeah.
She hates it.
Now, in their defense, yeah, it's all on you. And here's the other thing. Most motorcycle riders, whoever's on the back, they're not accustomed to feeling somebody making tight turns at slow speeds, because most people don't know how to do it alone, let alone with somebody on the back.
Right.
So if you do that, of course. Whoa, we're going down. I got you, baby.
Yeah. He said, we're fine.
That's right. Yeah. Now, I forget which practice session Mario was in, but the last one he did with me, you saw he took his wife through all the exercises.
I saw that one, yep.
But you didn't see her on the back in the beginning. As much training as this guy has and as good as he is, she still had doubt in him. I'm not getting on that bike. But when she saw him do trust and believe, bam, she was like, all right, I'm going to get on. And she stayed on the whole time. Uh-oh. What's going on, Paul? You got ghosts?
I don't know. Who's that? No, the dog came in. The dog came in. Hold on. Let me get...
Is that lady that you keep in the closet?
Sorry about that. Yeah, I said, dang. I got to go, Joe. I got to go. The dog came in. I'm like, come on. Yeah. Sorry about that. Okay. Sorry about that.
The door can open the door?
The dog, he pushed it open. Yeah. It's weird, right?
Oh, okay. It's one of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got a German. Wait, what kind of dog is that?
Like
Beagle?
Mix, yeah, it's like a mix. Yeah. Rescue dog. Rescue.
Yeah, I got a German Shepherd. He'll bust through every door. You don't care.
You got a bunch of stuff on here from Boots and Jeans. What's going on?
He's live now. Look at it. What you got?
He's chatting with Ride and Wrenching. Maybe in Memphis this year.
All right, you know what? It's time for Ride and Wrenching to do a live video. He can host it because he's on.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the last live that he was on, it was pretty much his show. So
yeah,
he technically already did it live.
Well, you know, it's a good podcast. You asked him some questions, and then he felt free to talk, and you let him talk. That's good.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, DC Cycler has a question for you, Paul. Do you ride your
Yeah.
RT 1250 long distance or local and regional?
Yeah, that's pretty much. Well, you know what? We would take it like if we do out of town funerals. So we go like Houston for the officer funeral, something like that. We'll ride it like that. That's pretty much as far as I ride it. I actually rode to Abilene with my guy that we got in the crash. He was buried in Abilene at the veteran cemetery. So we rode it to Abilene and back. But yeah, most of that stuff is just local at work in the city kind of stuff. So it's okay, comfort wise. It's kind of similar to the Kawasaki. You know, your knees are kind of bent a little bit. But yeah, it's good.
Now
Not
your
like
knees
not
are,
like the Harley or the Indian though. You know, you can ride
Yeah,
those things for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
as long as you got the right seat, or I use a gel seat pad. That helps a little bit.
Hey, Joe, have
HD.
you ridden? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, have I ridden what?
Have you ridden that BMW R18 Transcontinental?
I have not.
You're not missing anything.
Yeah, that's the one with the engine sticking
boxer
out inside.
The boxer.
Yeah. I don't know. There's another YouTuber. What's her name? It's a female. She has that BMW and she loves it.
Yeah. Fred Della
HDAB.
Pena, what's going on, brother? David Ortega, what's going on? Yeah, you got some people just checking in here.
Oh,
Yep.
right.
Better late than never, Fred. Fred's good on that motorcycle too now.
Oh yeah.
Very good
Yeah.
on the motorcycle.
Yeah, I was with him at one of the practices. I think that was the first one that I went to.
Yeah, he's part of like a motorcycle riding team now or something like that. So
Yeah.
and he rides an ultra limited as well. Oh no, it's actually just a limited now. They don't call it ultra limited anymore.
Yeah. My wife said, "You got that right."
What? We got what right?
And I was telling you how
The figure eights, the
hates to
U-turns?
do figure eights. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fred, welcome. Always good to hear from you.
Welcome.
All right, let's see. Wow, chat's popping off pretty crazy now.
Yeah, they.
Let's see. Dave Ortega. I attended that session when Mario was cutting it up with wife on the back of his bike. The dude was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I saw that video.
And then unfortunately, follow the leader.
Oh, got
Yeah.
it.
We
Bike
got
couldn't
into the
handle it.
snowman, and his bike said, "All right, that's enough of that. Clutch going."
Did it? Oh, that's you mean you gotta get his clutch fixed?
I gotta let people know that's the only reason that he dropped that bike in the snowman. I was looking forward to really getting into it with him, but the Yamaha was like, "That's it."
Yeah.
And everything happens for a reason. That could have happened when his wife was on the bike, and it didn't. So that was good.
Yeah.
Great. Jay Thomason, good evening. Stream finally loaded in for me.
Look at that. Just
But
coming
I
in.
don't know if I don't think I have any control over that, but there'll be the replay that you can go back and watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else we got? Fred De La Pena. We might be riding from South Florida to the 120th anniversary tally. I'm guessing he meant rally in July. Oh, let's see.
July.
What else we got here?
Exactly. I'm sorry. I'm referring to Mario's comment. This is why of course, I didn't want his wife to get hurt. That's why I'm happy the clutch didn't go out with her on it. But he's right. Once that happens, then she would have been like, "That's it."
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
I don't know what the hell a clutch is, but I ain't getting back on that motorcycle.
Brandon's Bikes. Great job tonight, gentlemen. Really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, brother.
Definitely been
Had a
fun.
good time. Good time right here.
All right, guys. Well, we went 2 hours and
wow,
almost 5 minutes. Yeah. So just to respect everybody's time, and unless you got like a last minute question really quick, then we're probably gonna end up wrapping this up. But I think you could still feel free to chat down in the live chat for a few minutes. So
Well, our time's respected. I'm retired. Paul's.
So I got to work in the morning. 6 a.m.
Oh, you got to work in the morning?
Yeah, but I'm
Oh,
good though.
shit.
I'm good. I hang out all night with y'all.
Yeah, man. That's what I like to hear. I actually got to get up early too. Early for me, at least.
What's
What was
that?
that,
What time is
11?
that?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
get 11 is early for me, but no, tomorrow I'm getting up at I think I'm gonna get up at 8. 8? No, yeah, because I got to take a 2-hour drive out to Augusta. Some
Sounds
Apple
terrible.
product stuff I got to deal with.
Okay.
Oh boy.
The closest Apple store to me is 2 hours. 2 hours to go to
Is that right?
Charleston, South Carolina, or 2 hours to go to Augusta, Georgia. It's just a matter of where I want to go.
Take your pick, huh?
Dude. Okay. David Ortega says, when is the next in Pooler, Robert? Next session.
Good question, Dave. I'll be sending out the email when the next one is. I don't even know yet, but it's going to be soon because the weather is just great. You know, it's just great weather. I was going to do it this weekend coming up, but I don't know. The weather doesn't look too cool. I always look at the forecast before I schedule the practice sessions here.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, that's why I usually don't do it well in advance. But
yeah.
I got some private lessons I got to do. One on Friday, one on Monday. So
There you go.
Okay.
I'm
All
looking
right,
forward-
guys.
I don't know if Dave's been practicing on his gold wing, because if you notice the last practice session, he brought his gold wing out and his Stratoliner.
Yep.
That Stratoliner is just sexy, man. And he tried a couple of things out with that gold wing, and then he was like, "All right, I'll do the rest on the Stratoliner."
Yeah, because it's got those linked brakes. I think that's what he was.
It was his.
saying his challenge was.
It was the clutch too. I think it's like
Was it?
yeah. You just have to pay attention to it more. You know, that's all. You got to
Okay.
pay attention to it more.
And who is that? Who is that you talking about?
David
Dave
Ortega.
Oh,
VI preloader. David Ortega.
Yeah.
mhm.
All right, guys. So I'll let you guys tell you or say where we can find you guys. Obviously on YouTube, but Robert, I'll let you go. Just go ahead and share your links, how people can contact you.
All right. First, Joe, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. And I'll never have a problem doing this kind of stuff. It's always good, you know. But if you guys want to get in contact with me or watch any of my videos, Be the Boss of Your Motorcycle is the name of the YouTube channel. Instagram is Be the Boss of Your Motorcycle. I think TikTok is Be the Boss of Your MCY. And Facebook is Be the Boss of Your Motorcycle. Surprise. That's the private group, though. All right. So, listen, guys, what Paul and I are talking about here, and Joe, obviously we're passionate about it, you know, so, and there's a reason for that. This stuff's important. I just wish more people understood and shared the level of priority that we put on this.
Yeah.
And I have people tell me all the time, literally all the time, I actually enjoy riding my motorcycle way more now. And that just makes sense. If you're intimidated by something all the time, you're not going to really get the full enjoyment out of it. But once you get past that hump of fear and intimidation, this is just it's even more fun. That's a guarantee, guys.
It is. Yep, for sure. For sure.
Have a
I
good
can
night.
echo that too. Hey, I appreciate Joe having me on, man. It's a good time. Robert, always good talking to you, Robert.
You too,
We say
bro.
Robert's a good dude. Let me tell you, man, when I started my channel, he reached out to me. I don't know if you remember, Robert.
Yeah, I
Reached
remember.
out to me, let me know, hey, if I need anything, gave me his number. And so I always appreciate that, man. 'Cause a lot of people, you know, when they're stars like you, big dog, you know, they don't want to give love. But I really appreciate you helping me
No
out,
problem,
man.
man. No problem
And
at all.
so yeah, so ProRider Central Texas, you can pretty much find ProRider CTX or Central Texas. You'll find me there. I'm actually gonna start some practice sessions actually in March down in Clean, Texas. So look for that, and we'll set up some cones, have a good time, have some music going, just kind of it's a good fellowship. And so yeah, so look for that. March 25th is my first one, actually, March 25th. So yeah, yep, it's in Clean, Texas. So yeah, come to have a bunch of patterns set up. I'll walk through them, demo, practice what you want to practice. I'll ride through, help you out. Just have a good time. So check it out. Check it out. Appreciate you, Joe. Have me
Hey.
on, man.
That's
I
awesome.
appreciate
That's awesome.
appreciate you guys coming on. Make sure you guys go ahead and check out their channels. And I forgot to mention in the beginning, if you guys want to join my Facebook group, because I'm terrible at promoting it, just go on Facebook, type in Jogo Motorcycle Adventures and join. We'll get you in there. So, all right, guys, that's going to be it. I appreciate you all tuning in. And again, congrats to Andy. Make sure you email me, and we'll see you on the next live, guys.